Well, welcome to Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope, the Facebook page on YouTube. This is my new Wonder Woman. I just seen it. I wore this to it with my Superman belt buckle. And what can I say? But yeah, I'm happy. I was going to do a video coming out of the cinema, but I bumped into some old friends and very late. It's about 11:30 at night, and stuff like that. So I just thought, get home and make this one when I'm fresh back. First time in this new cinema, so I wanted to see this super screen, and it was fantastic. Oh, it's huge! I got quite a surprise. It was huge, and floor to ceiling, wall to wall. Sound wasn't too hot, and where we were sitting, there was a wee aisle in front, but nobody walked by us. But we were bang on the middle there, and we had plenty of feet room and stuff like that. Trailers was okay. I got excited. I did see there was one person there. He was wearing a green one. Now this is Glasgow, okay? That it's not as thing in America where people are shouting and cheering on. In the UK, the more sedate. Okay, they don't give round of applause. I did. Okay. It's just a UK thing. They don't applaud. They don't do much before or after. They don't cheer or whatever. Unless it's a whole full room dedicated to fans. No, this was a whole mixture of people. But I did see some Wonder Woman tops. In fact, a girl was wearing a Wonder Woman top. I was looking at a Wonder Woman top, and then finally when she started to talk, I realised it was an old friend from, that's how observant I was. I was looking at these people. Her man was wearing a Punisher top, and I'm thinking, wrong t-shirt. But anyway, no, there were some people dressed that had the t-shirts, but majority of them just, I think because at the time there was a lot of sort of non-fans there that was there. So I don't know how busy the cinema was. At the start it didn't look as though it was busy. So what we're going to do just now is, I've turned this camera now the other way, so I don't even know how much of my lovely face you're getting just now, and I'm not doing this again. So if you're seeing like the top bit and just hearing the voice, well, I'm afraid that's all you're going to get. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off the beginning. I'm going to do a non-spoiler bit, and then I'll tell you when the spoiling is going to start. Okay, because I don't believe in doing one non-spoiler and one. If I was to do a non-spoiler, to be honest, it would take about 3 minutes, so I'll let you know when to switch off. So yep, so sitting there, Wonder Woman comes up, and I just thought that the film was good. I did. I know that it's 93% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. It's people have seen it 2 or 3 times. I myself, I seen it tonight. I'm also going to take it seems to be a routine for me. It's going to be, when I go and see these DC films, it's me, my partner, kid and stuff like that. And then the next time I go, it's with my kids' friends and stuff. So I take them along. So I always see a DC film twice at least. Okay. Now, is the film worth watching? Too right, yes. Why am I not like ecstatic or over the moon? Well, it's because it's late at night. And the first time I always watch a film, your expectations, right, and what you want out of a film is always at a different level, and it normally takes me a second time to watch it when I'm more relaxed. Okay, I know what's happening, and and some scenes that at the first time when I'm watching a film, there's things I want to happen, and when they don't, I'm like, oh god, it didn't do that, it didn't do that, and oh, they should have done. It's like watching Lord of the Rings. If you've read Lord of the Rings and you watch a film, you're thinking, right, they've missed this scene out, they've missed that. So that's basically that. But the second time I see it, I'm more chilled. I know what, So, uh, and of course, when you're watching it, you're thinking, oh, that's a bit in the trailer, right? When is this bit going to happen in the trailer? Right? That's the thing that happened to Suicide Squad. Okay, people saw things in the trailer that didn't appear in the film, and you're spending your time watching, and then it doesn't happen. And you say, oh, they missed that. I'm sure I've seen that. Anyway, so the film, yeah, is good. I put it in the same level as Batman v Superman. Now, some of you might argue, okay, some of you might say that the film is better than Batman v Superman. Some of you will say that Batman v Superman is better than Wonder Woman and stuff like that, so on. But I like to look at it as two different formats. The reason why I put it on par is because I enjoyed them. I loved them. It gave me the heroes that I always seen in the comic books. It was a story, everything else. But I can always, but because they're two different stories, one's set in World War One, the other one is through a sort of darker time, so it has to be told differently. It's about two different characters. This is a time of where manipulation is taking place in Batman v Superman, and in Wonder Woman you get the origin story. So of course, and it's taking place in Themyscira, where there's lots of women in sort of short skirts, and so it's sort of a lighter tone. But then it gets serious with the war and stuff and the humour, but the humour wouldn't work as much in BVS because they're trying to tell a different story about two characters. So that is why I put it on par, and why I can't say which one is the best superhero. I've went on and said, to me, Batman v Superman is the best ever superhero film for me, because of what was in it. But at the same time, Wonder Woman I can also say now is one of the best films, superhero films. I'll put they two together. It's like saying, for me, what kind of music do you like? And it depends on the mood, or what's your best film of all time? And you can't really choose that because, because there's westerns, war movies, and horror films. And even if you were to say what's your best horror film, well then you've got the ones that is it a gory one, is it the suspense one, is it some of the best horror films probably don't have anything like that in it. So it's very hard for me to judge which one. You could do a poll and I'd be like, no, because it's just different. No, both of them have got two different formulas and they're good in each way. So let's get down to Wonder Woman. What was the good points of Wonder Woman? Gal Gadot, for one. Chris Pine. Basically, all the actors and actresses were excellently picked for the roles. My partner loved the love story. It's not really big on the sort of action genre, but she did like that sort of aspect in the film, and that's probably again why BVS couldn't do that sort of love thing, even though you had the lowest thing there. But in this one, you've got the love story was more important for the film role. I would say, to build up Gal Gadot's character, because she was all about love and stuff. So you had they had the love aspect, yes, you had the humour. Now for Wonder Woman, you're going to have humour because it's one of these films where you take a fish out of water and they're trying to adapt. So it's a lot easier to take to put funny things inside it, to add humour amongst that. Like a woman going into a department store that's not used to a department store, and you'll have this thing where, because it's a male-driven society, where Wonder Woman comes from a woman-driven society, and she's not had that. She's never seen really a real man before, so you've got all that. So comedy, of course, ensues in the whole thing. It is a good start for women superheroes, and I'm so glad that Wonder Woman came first, before whatever Miss Marvel did, because again that would have probably set the stage, but set the bar. But now, thankfully, DC has now set the bar for girl movies, and I love the fact that they've done it. The one thing I'd say about the film that I wanted, but it isn't a spoiler, would have been some of the credits at the start. Okay, because the minute a film ends, people are getting up and walking away. Now, when this film ended, I seen people sitting there. I stood up and I made a wee point. I says, "Listen, and I said to my partner, there's no end credit scene. We might as well go." And they were still sitting there. But as soon as I seen Zack Snyder, I went, there it is, Jeff Johns, there it is. I would have loved that to be at the start of the film, so people would get to know that the story was by Zack. Okay. Yes, bring up directed by Patty Jenkins. Yep, bring that up first. And then followed by story by Zack Snyder, directed by Patty Jenkins. And I loved something like that, instead of putting it at the end when everybody's starting to get up, because I think key people that made this film should be at the start. Yeah, I know they didn't do that in Star Wars, but this isn't Star Wars. Okay, that's my only gripe. The other good points of what Wonder Woman, of course, is the fight sequences. Throughout the film, the chemistry between all the actors and actresses, the surprises that happen during the film, and it also touched on casualties of war and how that affects people, and how easily people can be manipulated into war and stuff like that. Now, when this film was coming out, and BVS came in. And BVS I know I'm referencing BVS too much when I'm supposed to be talking about Wonder Woman, but it's the similarities. When BVS came out, I saw the 4 stars, and I'm wondering what would have given BVS, what did it need to make that a 5-star? Then when I saw Wonder Woman, I thought the same thing. It's all getting these 4 stars. Why was it not getting a 5-star? So that's the thing that I'm missing. And the only way I could, and this is only the one wee bad point, and it's not a major thing. I'm sorry I'm not shouting out and being happy. It's just late at night. I'm tired. I enjoyed the film. Okay, I loved the film. I thought brilliant, good stuff. And I also run a page which is meant to, post some great stuff. So my expectations were right high. Second time I see it, I'm going to be right. Only one wee problem I had was it with it. It was one wee bit in the film that it was sort of dipping and losing me for a wee bit. but that's to be expected because that was getting the story right. It was it was explaining the story, explaining how she's getting from A to B, and at those points of the film, sometimes it slows down the pace and everything else. And I also, at that bit, they were building up chemistries between the actors and actresses and building up the worlds. And so to come from a great scary, it's like Man of Steel when you had the Krypton, you were like thrust into this fast space, and and then it goes to Earth, and it kind of slows down a wee bit. When it just tells you little wee things through flashbacks as Clark's making his way and stuff. So it's just that wee bit, and that was the only sort of drawback I felt for the film that I had, and maybe it was that reason why it never got a 5-star. That's it. So, and then I thought the ending of the film was what was nice. It made you question what was happening. There's a reference. Again, this is not a spoiler. There's a reference at the Bruce Wayne's van comes. You don't see Bruce Wayne. Batman's not in it, but you see a van arriving. It's got a case inside it that they're taking out, and on the van, the license plate. You would have seen this on my page. The license plate is actually it's a reference to a Superman comic. It's Superman coming back, which I thought was clever. So for all these people that are looking for the numbers on the doors that they did in BVS or license plates or something, that's what it means. It's one of the first issues of Superman's rebirth after Doomsday. I'm trying to think of what else I can say without spoiling it. I mean, the secondary characters that were good, explains where the photograph came from. It gives you a backstory. Now, some people had complaints about it wasn't Americanized too much, and that all often worried me because I hate that heroes should be subjugated to one country, and the fact that Britain was fighting World War One a long time before, and they fought in World War Two a long time before the Americans even got involved in it. But they chose Wonder Woman to be involved in one of the, the war to end all wars. So there was a symbol for America, and then you see it in Paris, but there were wee signs, when you see Steve Trevor, you see a wee symbol of America on it, and for a wee split second I thought, is this where she's going to sort of wear the red and blue stripes because of Steve Trevor? But no, it was good, and as I said, there were nice wee touches throughout. I'm glad they're introducing sort of the Greek mythology. So yeah, I would definitely agree with the ratings. 4 out of 5 stars, just because it's just one wee bit. I thought the ending was fantastic. I thought the last fight was moving. Gal Gadot was hypnotic, and I've just heard John SCHNEEPS have said on a Collider interview, he would think anybody was stupid or something like that. It was a Collider review. He would put anyone stupid who doesn't think Gal Gadot isn't a good Wonder Woman. It was along those lines, and I went bang on the money. You see the mother speaking the same sort of Amazon sort of accent as Gal Gadot, and it's rubbing off, and it's just the innocence that Gal Gadot portrays throughout the film, and love, and I would say that they got the Wonder Woman character down to a T. So would I recommend this movie? Go and see? Yes, I would. It is good. Again, seen it again. So this is it. Okay. this is where you kind of get ready to stop the tape, because this is coming into the spoiler territory. So you can stop. You can stop it now. Okay, so stop. Spoilers coming up. Okay, bye bye. Bye bye. Okay, right. Okay, film's fantastic. The start of the film, you see the Justice League sort of image that you've probably seen online, the Superman and the Cyborg. I cheered. Okay, I was going nuts. And that wee bit, and you see the people with the wings. At first I thought that's the Minions, but now I'm thinking, is that Thanagarians? Is that the Hawkmen and stuff like that on it? So that I quite liked. That was the nice sort of touch what Marvel does with the flipping of the comic pages. I thought, no, I'll have that any day. I wish it was longer, to be honest. Yeah, it touched on Themyscira. I liked the fact that they used the clay story, that she was born of clay, and then later on in the film, she finds out that she wasn't born of clay, and that she was actually the daughter of Zeus. I actually thought in the comic books, the New 52, was it the Rebirth thing, that they changed that to Hercules was a badass. He forced himself upon her. I don't know if it was right, but listen, hey, Zeus gets my vote. And there's also a bit in Themyscira when they're talking about the gods, and you see the gods up the top, and you see Zeus, and in the background there's a guy standing with a trident. So of course that's got to be God of the Sea, Poseidon. So I'm thinking that's a connection. You know, there's going to be an Aquaman movie, and of course they're going to talk about Poseidon, and then there's a Wonder Woman with their god Zeus. So they've got to all come into it sometime and talk about their gods or whatever. As I say, Gal Gadot, she was gorgeous. She was beautiful. Some of the cinematography of her just walking through the door, and you know when she's facing the villain, and of course the villain is not who you thought it was going to be, and it's made me question who the other one was. Then somebody just said, "Oh, it's just because he's been breathing in those drugs." You know, the smoke that's given him power to fight against Wonder Woman and stuff. So that was tremendous. I liked the moment where Wonder Woman, there's a scene in it. Again, this is the spoiler territory, so if you haven't seen the film, you should have turned off by now. Okay? Steve, you know, Diana's trapped on the ground, and she's looking up, and you know it's going to explode, you know, as part of you, and it's just the look on her face, the tears and everything, all that got me. And then she gets up and she starts throwing people about, and she's using the power of, God, I'm going to sound cheesy here, she's going to use the power of love to defeat Ares. And that's sometimes what's been done before, where you've got to stop fighting, because the more you fight with Ares, the more stronger he becomes. So I do like that. And to be honest, I was expecting the baddie to be who it was, you know, especially it kind of confirmed with me when she stabbed the sword down and nothing happened. I thought, that's not Ares. But I'm still thinking it's that other guy, because it's not the person you think it is. It was just a little moments, you know. Yeah, I mean, everybody loves when Wonder Woman gets up on the battlefield, and you have that sort of slow walk, and the music score was brilliant. If I had one wee drawback, it would be they wasn't using the ding 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 as much as I would have liked. Yeah, they did use it, but I'd have liked it more. but maybe again because it's just the start of her journey, and that's not exactly Wonder Woman yet, same as the Man of Steel thing. It's not became her sort of tune until further on as you get to the end of the film, and then it starts to play more. I thought having the Scotsman, I thought that, as I say, the secondary characters and the Scotsman not being able to shoot, it told all these wee innocent sort of war stories, not as deep as Saving Private Ryan, but you did see some casualties coming in, and how Wonder Woman, she wanted to help these people, but she had to realise she couldn't save everybody. And the fact that Wonder Woman said to the guy, the Scotsman, listen, I still enjoy your singing. So it shows compassion as well. What else? See, I'm all about the wee moments, not the big. I mean, the fight between Wonder Woman and on the battlefield. Oh, the battlefield was brilliant when she's holding the shield down and she looks stuck, and all the focus on her, and she sees Trevor coming in and helping out, and then there was that moment when she was going to get shot again, like her friend did, when her friend jumped in, and it was Steve Trevor that sort of shot him, and she turns and she looks at him, and it's that moment, I believe, that Steve Trevor was going to get very, very lucky. Very lucky. I'm glad they went to the bedroom and went away from the bedroom, because listen, that had been half of my fantasy there, to see what it would be like to have Wonder Woman in your bedroom. Powerful God that is. Batman couldn't even handle Wonder Woman in that score. That's why it's always portrayed as Superman. Anyway, enough of that. What else? It was, a lot of the wee jokes, you've seen in the trailers already. But I thought the start of it, when they were explaining where, about the gods and about the island. Now, I've seen some comments saying, they didn't explain why they weren't aging, and why Wonder Woman was there, or they didn't explain. What else did they not explain? They didn't explain, first of all, the aging thing. Then they didn't explain that why did they go on this island, and why, why have they not been more involved and stuff. But for me, I think they explained enough. And for anybody to dig wee holes in that, they're just, it's, to me, I don't understand those people that would just pick at it, pick out the wee holes in the plot and stuff. I thought it was very self-explanatory. And if you've ever got a question about somebody that's well known in the comic book world or history, you just Google and there's your answer. Find a fact book, there's your answer. What else did I love about the film? I loved the fact that that for some reason that at the start the soldiers came onto the beach, and now some people have a problem with this, but when the soldiers came onto the beach and they were firing the machine guns, that the Amazons could actually get killed. Because some people believe, when they're reading the comics, that Amazons are impenetrable. They can't be. Well, then, if there was that case, then what's going on with the bracelets? Of course they can be shot. And then we suffered the first loss. The women jumping over jumping on the shield with the 3 arrows slope, and then you see that later with Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor getting that idea and using the shield and jumping up, and she's smashing through the building. It's just, I loved the moments. We've seen one of my favourite Scotch actor in it, who was in Braveheart. He was playing the sort of commander-in-chief when it was all in that sort of room, and Wonder Woman tells him off. My lieutenants would be, on the battlefield. And I thought, yep, that's what we needed. That's I love the fact there's a couple of scenes like that. There was that scene, and there was a scene before it where Wonder Woman comes into like an all man's club, and she doesn't see anything wrong with it, and men are going, "Oh, there's a woman there. What's we going to do?" You know, those moments priceless. I think, you know, and I've always said this, I go to see these films and I don't look at the gender of the hero. You know, I don't, if I see somebody dressed up as, if I see a girl dressed up as Batman, I don't think, oh no, you shouldn't be Batman. You know, I go to see these films, I'm not thinking Wonder Woman, it's a woman. I'm going there to see a character. I'm going to see somebody that we're going on a journey with. And this film does that. You see the journey of this character from somebody that's innocent, that's been protected most of her life, to somebody that's been brought up in a way where she's propelled to do the right thing, you know, and live by the Amazon code. Get the overprotective mother. And you know, there were hints of her flying, but I still don't believe she's flying. I believe it's just big jumps. Okay, there was people were saying, "Yep, it's official. She's flying." No, I still think that DC's keeping her grounded. You know, there was a scene where she jumps up like that, and the sort of rock underneath her feet is sort of lifted up as she's fighting Ares. But then she sort of lands again with a thud, and not as graceful as what Clark would do when he lands. As I say, there's very small brief. I loved the wee intro with Bruce Wayne talking to her and being thankful that he sent him the watch of Steve Trevor. And the picture, you know, it shows that connection already for the team. Why she's in Paris, you know, that's the question. Maybe we'll find that out in Justice League. So it all makes sense there. But is it a big thing? No. What else? She lifted a tank. It's something I always wanted Man of Steel to do, but you know, in this one, it makes sense for her to lift the tank. And then she sees, you know, poison on the floor, the Dr. Poison or whatever, and she chooses not to because of what Trevor said. And I'm speaking to the partner and thinking that the women are just going to love this film. Not, for the action, but I think they're just going to dig it. And I don't want to sound sexist, but the love story is good. And for me, Gal Gadot just, see when she was on the scene, she's just got this natural beauty about her when she walks into the room and she gives that speech, you know, my job is to protect Earth or whatever, and that's what I do or whatever. I can't remember the speech, but the slow motion bit when she's walking on, and then on the battlefield she climbs up the ladder and she does that one bullet, grabs the shield, blocks the bomb. It's just lovely to watch, you know, and it's just the hair and everything about Gal Gadot. Hopefully it shuts all those naysayers about her and all those feminist things. What other of my favourite scenes stands out? The bit when, you know, when she gets on the horse and she kicks butt, and the sword behind her back because she wants to kill this guy, and Steve Trevor stops her, and so there's all that anguish in her face. See, it's just a little bit. It's just a little. It's not the big fight sequences. You know, I could talk about the great use of the lasso, but for me, the great use of the lasso was close to the start when Steve Trevor uses it. You know, when he's on the ground and he's tied with the thing and he's trying to lie. You know, I'm a spy. And then there's a bit where he grabs the lasso and puts it around the wrist, and he says, I'm not lying to you, but this is stupid, you know, this is the stupidest idea I've ever had. It's those bits I loved. What's it say? I mean, you could say, some of the scenes that, again, Patty Jenkins have said that, that it takes homage from the Christopher Reeve movie. But when I'm watching it, I don't think of that. I just think it's you know, I, apart from that one scene, and maybe her putting on the glasses, I think that was it. I don't know why people are making a big fuss about that, about the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. To me, this just shouts out a great story for Wonder Woman, a great origin story for Wonder Woman. And if they do make us, there's talk about a second Wonder Woman, and if they do make it and say it's not as good, they can still hold up their head and saying, you know. And to be honest, I if they were to do a second Wonder Woman, I would still want something from the past. Make it World War II or something. Um, Unless they come up with a really, really, really good plot. But I think most of the good stories are in the past. Because we're living now in a world where most things are accepted, and I would rather see Wonder Woman argue the point for these things. Um, for gay rights, for mankind, for women's rights, get her to join the suffragettes, and vote for women, and have her with the banner. I would love to see more backstories like that. Um, what else? I thought Britain was handled brilliantly. She's travelling in there and she wants to get straight to the war, and it shows you in the ditch, in the ditches, and how quickly somebody like her she could just win the war. She goes up there and she saves the village, and then as the baddie bombs the village later on in the film, it's the disgust, it's the desperation in her face. It's the loss, and when she thinks that just by killing a god that everything will come back to normal, and she realises that that's not how it works, and some people are just bad. The desperation in her face, and saying, "Why are people like this?" It's her not understanding, her not being. I can't say naive, because she isn't naive. This is her seeing the world for the first time. Um, but she's been protected in Themyscira from this sort of darkness that is out there. And maybe it would have been a different world if the Amazons got more involved from day one. But again, maybe that's why they were hoping for Diana's destiny was to defeat Ares, and they had to wait in this island until Diana was proper aged to go and defeat Ares. And even Ares, I mean, that was. You've seen the character that was playing Ares, and you think, how's he going to turn into this big, bulky guy? And they treated it well. It was like Ares was. I'm not saying he was a Bane character, but when you think of gods, you think of like 300 and the bulky, bulk sort of guys, But no, in this one, what was a clever idea to do was, and maybe he got weak because society. Anyway, it's not important the shape of his body, but for me, because he was this thin-looking, I told you, spoilers, thin sort of guy, you wouldn't expect. But his power was to tell you, to put ideas in your head, and for that, you